Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today we're going to interview country music superstar Kirstie Kraus. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe, like, comment, and follow us for free. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so I encourage you to click on that notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. We also ask that you post a link to today's show on all your social media to spread the word. Now, let's say hello to Kirstie Kraus. Hello, Kirstie. Welcome to the John Ark Show. How are you today?
I am fabulous. So happy to be here. It is a beautiful day here in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm glad we could make this work.
Well, then we're off to a good start. So my first question is going to be a very technical and very important music question. Are you ready?
Okay. Yes.
What is your zodiac sign?
Okay. I'm a Libra.
Okay.
Which I've been told a lot of creative people are Libras. So
a lot are, yeah.
I guess it makes sense.
Absolutely. And how old were you when you first stepped onto a stage and sang your first song for the public?
Okay, well, it wasn't a full song, so I don't know if this counts, but I was 4, and my uncle's band just got done singing Achy Breaky Heart, and then they went on break, and then I jumped up and thought it would be cute if I sang a couple of the lines over and over and over again. And so that was my first time really stepping on a stage, and then at 5, I had a solo at school.
Now, the first time, did it feel natural? Did it feel good, or were you terrified?
See, I started so young. Like, I started jumping up on picnic tables when I was 2. So I never really had the moment of the fear factor of being in front of people. It just was natural to me. It was second nature.
That's usually a really good sign. How old were you when you wrote your first song?
I was 8. And I have a canvas of the lyrics, the chorus lyrics in my bathroom. My sister gave it to me for Christmas. So, yeah.
So now fast forward to these days. How much time do you spend each month writing your own music?
Oh, I love this question. So just in the past, since Easter, I have written 7 songs, 8 songs, and I do about 2 to 3 writing sessions a week. So that keeps it at bay, where it's still like I'm excited about my writing appointments. And so I don't try to overdo it, but also at the same time, I have acknowledged to myself that writing is a huge bucket and thing that I have a knack for. So I try to make time to do that.
Yeah, it's huge in all the arts. If you're a writer, a script writer, a comedian, a musician, it's,
muscle.
It's really important. So do you focus exclusively on country music, or do you occasionally venture into other genres?
Ooh, I'm loving this. I do all genres. Like, I have written a more like punk, almost country song, a bluesy rock country. I've done folk songs. I mean, I've kind of just let the song tell me what it wants to be, and I go with it. I don't try to push it into any sort of genre.
So I see that you produce a lot of videos, and I think that is really smart for a number of reasons. How long does it take for you to produce and record a video?
Ooh, I love videos because of the visual aspect. I'm a visual person, and I love bringing the songs to life. For instance, for Gotta Do, the music video that's out there where I'm driving the school bus and it's all pink and fun, I went and sat down with the producer for 6 hours and edited the video. And I think it took us probably 6 hours to film it. So any music video can take somewhere from 13 hours to maybe like 48 hours to kind of complete collectively.
If you're ever bored and you want to pick up a new skill, you should learn how to edit sound and video on your own, just to sort of enhance your own abilities. It really changes the way you view things and hear things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a whole bucket. I know it would be amazing. And I do have some friends that I'll send quick things to, and they'll help me with stuff. And I really do direct that a lot. I tell them exactly what I'm looking for, but to be able to just do it myself would be awesome.
And there are a lot of video editing YouTube tutorials that you can watch for free and learn from. But anyways,
I'll have to get the Adobe. I don't have my own like Adobe software yet.
Okay. So as a producer, I've got more than 100 celebrities on my payroll, and the actors and celebrities that do really well and have long careers tend to be the ones that really take care of their health. They go to the gym regularly and they eat healthy without revealing any names. Generally speaking, do you believe that your generation of musicians is taking better care of themselves physically these days, or are some of them repeating the same mistakes of musicians from the past?
I think collectively as a whole, I'm not seeing a good arc towards people taking care of themselves, but I'm talking sleep, minimum alcohol, like all eating healthy, without getting so much into it. I think that what's put in our food in the States is a whole other thing, can of worms to open. And so I just try to eat raw stuff as much as possible, lots of fruits and vegetables and meat and just stuff that doesn't have a bunch of additives. But we have to watch out for that.
Absolutely.
It's so crazy.
By the way, if you have any friends that like to smoke something like weed, something low level, or take anything else, you should let them know that they're now putting fentanyl, deliberately lethal doses of fentanyl, into everything. Really? Weed, coke, everything. And the reason you would think that, whoever you're buying it from or they're buying it from would be very reluctant to hurt one of their customers, but that's not the way it works. The people manufacturing this have an agenda all their own, and when they sell it to a dealer, the dealer has no clue. He just sells it to the end user, and these people are dropping like flies. And musicians, it's actors, crazy. Athletes. So just thought I'd throw that in there.
Scary. That's scary stuff. Yeah, you always have to just watch what you're putting in your body, because these, as a singer, these are really anybody who's trying to do something at a high level. These are our instruments, our bodies, what we use for our work. So you have to be mindful of that.
And if you listen to a singer who's been drinking for the last 20 or 25 years, it changes the voice.
Yeah.
It's like 20,000 Marlboro cigarettes later.
Yep.
So what's more fulfilling these days? Is it writing your own music, or is it performing them?
I think performing still.
Yeah.
That's super close for me. It really is. There's nothing like getting a song out, but I feel like once I'm done with a song and I leave the writing room, I'm almost like tired a little bit. I need time for my brain to shift into a totally different department, where like when I'm performing, it's an up, like it's like great energy. It's a whole nother level.
Yeah, it's like leaving the gym after a good workout. You feel reborn.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of comedians I know record their performances and then listen to them later to see if they can be improved somehow. Do musicians do that as well?
I think if you are serious about your craft, you are doing that. I know a lot of people that do that. I do that myself. Like I performed last night in a writer's round, and you betcha my Wisconsin accent is coming out. You betcha I am listening back to those videos and like, okay, don't hold the note as long there. I need more of a bite here, like so the lyrics can come out. Because for me, it's all about serving the song.
So male singers and actors are constantly being chased after by female fans. What is the situation with female singers? Are there different guys proposing to you every 5 minutes?
I know there's not. I think there are people who are like, oh, if I could just live over in the States, because I talk to a lot of people over in the UK and overseas, and they're like, if I was just there, like I'd sweep you off your feet and marry you, but it doesn't happen as often as you think. So,
by the way, are you familiar with Jessie J? I think that's her name.
Yes.
I was watching her on this video the other day. She performed for this show in the UK. I think it's Jules something. But she does this song that is unbelievable, and her control over her tone and her timing, and her pauses. You can see the audience literally stop breathing when she pauses. It's a really interesting spell that she casts over the audience. It's incredible.
I love that. I've interviewed her a couple times through the Backstage Pass, and she's another girl in this scene that is killing it. And she has great energy. So I am 100% behind her music and what she's doing. Like she kills it.
Her timing is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So how do you believe your music best connects with your fans? Is it the emotion of the songs or is it the lyrics?
The lyrics. I think a lot of times I take something that is maybe every day, but I write about it in such a unique way that it's it's like they're entering my own little world is probably the best way I could describe it. It's yeah, I just take
Do you ever
stuff that we go through and write it in a unique way.
do you ever feel like you're casting a spell over your audience if everything's going well?
I don't know about casting a spell, but I definitely feel like they are entering into this same energy realm, like with me. Like we are in a world and time is moving fast and slow, and I'm in such a space that they can't help but like draw in and be a part of it.
So, Miss Kraus, I've heard that you've got a great new song. Would you care to play it for us?
Oh, I sure will. You know, this is new for me to be. I'm going to share a song that I wrote like last week, and it was actually with Rachel Walker Mason. And she's British and has crazy plaques behind her. This girl is amazing. And, you know, I just love what we did, and we connected on such a great level. And she was telling me a lot of the stuff that we were talking about. She was telling me she hears songs in colors, like she can see colors when she's writing this song. It was just really cool. So this is a new one, and I tried it last night for the first time. So
Nice.
it's called Can You Handle This? Yeah.
Nice.
Any given day, you don't know what you're gonna get. That eager itch or anxiety up to my neck. I'll keep you on your toes so you never know what to expect. I always give you just enough so it's something you wanna protect. I'll touch your heart and I'll give it back, but I truly never wanna give it back. Can you handle this? Oh, my openness. Everything that you're searching for is right here in my kiss. Can you handle me with no guarantee? How smooth the winding road ahead of us is gonna be. Yeah, I'm gonna keep on asking you, baby, till you insist. Can you handle it? Know what it seems, I'm not your typical girl. With us so new, will it work when I come and go? And when I have to leave, will my t-shirt be enough? Now that it's getting real, there is so much more to last. Can you handle this? Oh, my openness. Everything that you're searching for is right here in my kiss. Can you handle me with no guarantee? How smooth the winding road ahead of us is gonna be. So I'm gonna keep on asking you, baby, till you insist. Can you handle it?
Well, that was so beautiful. I'm going to have to give you a one-man applause.
Oh, yeah, I will take it. Well, that's brand new. It's very new for me. Like, I've been playing the guitar on and off since I was 15. So I understand the guitar, but to play a song that's new and then turn it over and just kind of start playing it, I mean, that's
Very, very,
kind
very
of new
nice.
for me.
Very, very nice. By the way, do you always play on an acoustic or do you sometimes play on an electric guitar?
I have not. The only time I've ever played on electric was in the studio, like just playing around. And every time I do, I don't know why I do it more because my eyes just get really big and I'm like, oh my God, so much more possibilities. Like I feel like it's an
Is that because
opening.
electrics aren't as traditionally country as the acoustics are?
I would say that, and I don't own one for myself. And then
Really?
they're also heavier. So
Wow.
it's gonna be like it's gonna be a talk with myself about the shoulder thing and just like sucking it up. But maybe I find the right one that just feels good. Like this is my new, I am newly sponsored by Breedlove. So I have a brand new guitar from them and this is my new baby. And it's kind of a smaller size than a full guitar. So I'm able to bring it wherever. Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. So years ago, I met rock star Joan Jett, who I always thought was one of the most striking women in the world.
Love her.
And we were backstage talking, and I asked her manager why he didn't pursue more film and TV work for her. And he said they were just focusing on performing and touring. What are your thoughts on the topic? Do you have any interest in pursuing movie or TV roles?
Yes, yes, and yes. 100%. I have always told myself that I was going to go and get a business degree and I was going to get paid to talk to people and do music. And that full sentence, it wasn't always just music. I just knew I love talking to people and I love music. And so if I can get a job to be doing both of those, that would be amazing. And I definitely am envious and excited for, but Kelly Pickler, Kelly Clarkson, Natalie Stovall, like all of those that do music and hosting stuff in some sort of capacity, that would be a dream. That would be great.
Back in the day, did you ever think about auditioning on American Idol?
I did think about that. And I went out twice. One time I went with my dad and I was a baby. I was like a sophomore in college. And I think at the time, I remember going through like 5 rounds and then sitting in front of all of these executive producers, and the room was full, and the cameras were all on me. And I sang, and it's almost like they were waiting for me to say something, have a reaction. They were sitting there thinking like this. And in that moment, I really feel like I could have said anything remotely to me, right? And instead, I think I was just young and I just stood there
How
like,
old were you?
when I was a sophomore in college, gosh,
Okay.
I don't, was that like 19, 20?
Right.
You know? And for some reason, nothing triggered me to say like, okay, so it's a yes then. I literally could have felt like in that moment, I could have been like,
That
hello,
line alone would have been really charming.
right here. Like, we're moving on, right? Like, I don't know. I'm joking about it now, but at the time, maybe just wasn't in the cards for me. So I just didn't do the right thing.
Maybe it's fortuitous that you didn't go further because the American Idol contract, someone told me, is between 3 and 4 inches thick. So
Wow.
once you go down that path, they own you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Which is recently, I think there was a very talented artist. I can't think of her name right now, but I was watching all of her YouTube videos and she just took herself out of the competition. And my guess is that they convinced her to just go and be signed by a label and get out of the contest because otherwise she'd be owned on everything. So I don't know what happened there, but I hope she got signed.
years ago, I used to love to consult with psychics about deals or projects. What does the next
Mm.
year hold for this sort of project? Have you ever gone to a psychic to see, what the near-term future held for you and your efforts to pursue this path?
Oh man, I am seriously loving this right now. I just have not been asked questions like this, and I love it. So when I was 8, I think we were on a family trip in Florida, and that was the only time I went to a psychic. And she did tell me something. I don't know if it was what I wanted to hear or what, but she said that she sees a lot of money and success in my future in the entertainment industry. And I remember not even telling her that I was interested in music. So it came out of left field kind of when she said that.
So when you start to make obscene amounts of money, are you going to purchase your parents a home?
Absolutely. Isn't that on? I feel like that's on everybody's list,
It should
especially a
be.
good old Midwestern girl. Like
It should.
my parents, the amount of things they've driven me to and taken me to and dragged my little sister to, and just endless support and love. Without that unit and that family unit, I wouldn't be like able to be so courageous. So,
And if you
of
don't,
course.
if any celebrity doesn't do that, I immediately lose all respect. I won't tell you that I do, but I do, you know?
Yeah, yeah, because you know that it takes people to be supportive behind the scenes, and family is everything.
What's the most difficult part of what you're doing now? Is it the touring? Is it something else?
It's the balancing, as a independent artist, I love it. I'm my own boss and I kind of call the shots of what my schedule looks like. But on any given day, I really have to be like, okay, I only have 30 minutes to complete this task. Then I have to go out the door and go to and just really like I need to wake up at 7 because I need to get all of this done for me before I do, you constantly have to keep yourself scheduled. And sometimes, I feel guilty a lot of times when I can't get to everything in a day. And sometimes I just have to be like, I'm trying my best.
When do you write? Early morning or late at night?
Not till like 11. I won't start till like 11 or 12.
Gotcha.
It will be
So,
the earliest appointment. But if I'm writing by myself, like if I'm just like splatting out things, I would say it's in the morning more.
so they say that writing a hit changes everything, and I believe that. What do you think it takes to write a hit? Is it hard work and writing discipline, or or does the inspiration have to come from someplace magical?
Magic. I think magic. And you also have to know, like you have to have the basis of like the rules, and you know the chemistry has to be right. It's just so much. It's amazing to me. Like there's mathematics about writing, and then there's also like the element of magic, like what everyone's feeling that day in the writing room, what you decide to write about. All the pieces kind of have to come together, and sometimes you don't feel like you're the ones writing it. You
Do you
feel like it's coming down and channeling through you. So
do you
yeah.
collaborate with another writer, or what is your process?
I have probably a group of like 8 people that I will write with regularly. And then then I also write with artists. So I kind of have my team, and I will write with new people. But I write if I meet up with artists right now in town. A lot of times it's to write for them.
So when you and your 8 friends, your 8 partners, all write $1 million hit, do you split it up 8 ways? How does this work?
Well, we would never go in the writing room with 8 of us. That'd be chaotic. I even feel sometimes like, I'll do 3. I haven't really done 4 people at the same time. But I've done 3 because I've written with like duos or a guitar player and like a track person, like kind of both. But yeah, we wouldn't split it 8 ways.
What do you think is most important to someone's music career? Is it writing a hit, or is it building up a massive social media following?
The most important is the song,
Yeah.
like 100%. I am like always just trying to get the best song.
Tell
It's
me
all
about
about the song. A
yeah.
career is made around a song.
Tell me about the record companies these days. Are they signing people based on their music, or are they just sitting back and waiting to see people who develop the most social media followers before they offer to sign someone?
For sure, it's all around the social media following, what's going on for them on TikTok. And like, needless to say, I am really know a lot of the people in the 615 house, which was a content creative house that started really booming on TikTok. And there's a lot of them that have gotten deals. Ashley Cook and now Alexandria Kay going out on tour with Tim McGraw. So they have gotten success and found success in growing their social media. I have to bite the bullet and find somebody that helps me with social media because it's a lot of editing and it's a lot of time. And I really like focusing on the performing and the songwriting aspect.
Of all your musicians today, what percentage do you think actually want a record deal versus doing their own thing and building themselves up with social media and touring?
Oh man. I mean, I would have to say everyone is looking for the right partnership. And maybe there's less of those out there. Who knows? It's not like I've sat down and had a bunch of conversations yet. But I think everybody wants to be able to have control, like creative control of what they're doing. And so the longer you can do a career like Grace Potter and build it up to be its own thing where labels can't help but be attached to it. I mean, that's the ultimate dream. But having a team of people in the 40s, like 40 human bodies working towards goals and careers, people who do those kind of activities every day, I don't know why, if it's not the right situation, I don't know why anyone would not want to do that.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think generates more power and momentum for your career? Is it the music videos, the touring, the performances, or is it the contacts and connections you make along the way?
I think, I mean, all of those are important, and it's kind of, you got to all keep the plate spinning. But at the end of the day, it's the connections. And a lot of times I've had other artists ask me, like, how did you get booked at this festival? Or how did you know the people there? And it's honestly because I've been doing music my whole entire life and then full time for 7 years. That people that I've met along the way are opening doors, or they refer me to somebody that they know. I mean, it's literally a lot of times how I'm booking shows by myself is through referrals. Is through people like, I know so and so over here at this amazing theater. Like, you should contact them. Here's their email. And like, that is everything. I'm not just an email. I'm a referral. And I think in any small business, stuff like that, referrals is huge.
How hard is it for you and your musician friends to hang on to the rights to your songs when people offer you serious money?
I mean, I haven't come across that yet. I have a theory of my own, and my theory is that I never am afraid that I'm going to run out of material. I have many songs, and I don't feel so attached to, like, this specific new song, or this, they're all my babies, and I love being able to perform the song, and like, nobody's going to take away my ability to perform it or record it because I wrote it. So unless they, that's part of the contract, then yeah, we can talk about, but I still have bragging rights that I wrote it. But if that's mine, and now it's being featured in a film, great.
So I've never done business with her, but I think Miley Cyrus has a great voice, and she's really good at using the media to her advantage. I think I even like her version of Jolene better than Dolly Parton's. What do you
I
think of what do
do.
you think of Miley and her career?
Okay, so you've mentioned Miley and Joan Jett, and I love Miley is channeling this new age Joan Jett,
Yeah.
and I've been watching it. I have been here for it. I'm loving the space that she has now gotten into, and I watch her performances on YouTube often. If I'm in a long car ride traveling to Florida or wherever we're going on tour, like, I'm watching performances, and Miley will probably come up. So I have always been a huge fan of her, how she performs and the heart that she puts into it. Like, you can tell her every cell and being is in that moment and just sharing that experience with the other people. And it's infectious. And I really, really love what she does. And I love a lot of her writing.
Yeah, if you have a moment, go back on YouTube and watch some of the old Joan Jett videos from the 80s. They're unbelievable.
Okay, cool.
She's so good looking that most guys in the audience are squinting, or they're it's like
Right.
it's looking into the sun. She's so stunning. It's like looking into the sun. But
I love
but
it.
her music was a lot of fun too. And also, I don't know if you know, but she and Kenny, her manager, they tried to get a deal with every record company in town, and they all said no. So they then decided to start their own record company, and they were selling their LPs out of the trunk of their car. And
Wow.
then things blew up. Then MTV became a thing, and then they were really hot at MTV. In the early days, they were actually bigger than MTV. And
Wow.
so, years later, when things cooled off for a while, they said that because they retained the rights to all their music, they had all the power and they had a continued income even when the music scene
Right.
changed. So that's what carried them through. So
That's really good. And like, I'm a, I got to see Joan Jett live. I mean, kudos to her for that whole entire story. I did not know that, and I would love to dig into more of that. But I got to see her live. It was in 2007 or 2008 at the Jefferson County Fair up in Wisconsin. And I remember being like, she still got it. Look at this. Like, came out in her onesie, and I was loving it. And I was so happy I decided to make sure to go to that concert that night because she is an icon and she crushed it. And I think, as far as starting my own label, that is not out of the question ever. I operate now under Kraus House of Entertainment, and that's what the umbrella company is. And so it's not out of the question.
good for you. Whose music do you really enjoy and respect these days?
I mean, I love Maren Morris. I love Emily Weisband. I love Caitlin Smith. A lot of those kind of play into a little bit of the Americana stuff, like Maggie Rose is now becoming an Americana queen. Yeah, I listen to a lot of female music because I think that's I'm so focused, but those females I really look to what they're doing.
So, what are your plans for the next 12 months? Now that we're exiting the lockdown and things are beginning to pick up, do you have any special plans for the next 12 months?
Yeah, we're coming up on summertime in the Midwest. So I have a couple of very fun hometown full band performances, which I'm excited about. Of course, other tours around the country. And then this is my debut record, which I have been able to sell through the pandemic, physical copies and send them all over the world. But the digital of this record will be out May 27th.
Nice.
So 11 songs. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be doing a bunch of things coming up to be celebrating it out digitally and just celebrating this era. And of course, getting into the studio. I'm in the middle of recording with Jeff Huskins over at BMG. And he truly is amazing and understands me, and I really trust him with my music and this whole new songs that we are doing. It feels really good, and having that team put any sort of resources into me is awesome.
Well, Miss Kirstie, before we wrap things up, is there anything you would like to promote besides the CD and the upcoming touring?
Okay, well,
Do you have,
besides that,
do you have
I
a
would
website? Do
say
you have a website?
yes. Everything's under KirstieKraus.com. And I'll also, because you worded it in that way, I'll also invite everyone to come to Nashville now that we are in full season. Just come and visit. The city has changed tremendously over the years, and it's always a good time. And if you're thinking about coming this summer, come for CMA Fest because I'll be playing a ton of shows.
Is Nashville your home or Wisconsin your home?
Nashville.
Nice, nice. Well, it has been a pleasure having you on the John Ark Show. I want to wish you continued success, and you're always welcome back on the show.
I certainly appreciate that. And I love all of the questions you asked me today. So thank you so much for the time today and helping me tell my story. And it was so nice to meet you, John,
Yeah, it was a
officially.
lot of fun. I'll give you a virtual handshake. There you go.
Yeah, I love it.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
and bye bye.